right, hello everyone. I'm Fred Oakman here with Mr. Jake Peters. You're listening to PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 400, where we dive into our thoughts on all things PlayStation. Before we jump in, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome, where you can also watch the video version of the podcast. You can check out our trophy list on the PSN. I'm anchorless_81, and Jake is Jakesaw01. Send your thoughts to psthisisawesome@gmail.com. Share the show with friends. Don't forget to rate us. The podcast airs for free every Wednesday on your preferred streaming platform. But for those who sign up to our Patreon for just $1 per month, you can join the one and only $1 club and receive a die-cut vinyl sticker plus a shout-out on our show. Most times, you also get the show a day or two early. So visit patreon.com/PS This Is Awesome to support us. Remember, if you like our podcast, it does us a lot of good. If you can like, comment, and subscribe on anything we put on YouTube. And with that out of the way, Jake, how are you doing today?
'Tis the season.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, almost. It is snowing.
No.
It's not December
It's
yet.
arrived. We got I don't know what they call it, a fucking, I don't know. I don't even know if this type of weather has a name, but we got hit with a snowstorm here in northwestern Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And ordinarily, like it feels early only because there are so many leaves still on the trees around here. Mm-hmm. Not so much, I think, after the snow, but there's still a lot of leaves on the trees. But I think that in all actuality, it's not really that early. Like, it wasn't uncommon for the longest time when growing up and stuff. It was not uncommon for us to get a good snowfall towards the end of October.
Right.
Even have snowfall on like Halloween. But now it seems like this year we don't really get much snow until December. And so, this year the leaves are all still on the trees and the weather was relatively nice until all of a sudden it's like rain for a week and then bam, we got like some places got fucking 6 inches of snow. Like I think in Erie, they got like 6 inches of snow.
Yeah, dude,
and
it's crazy.
We didn't get that much. I mean, I don't know, Meadville's pretty close to us, but we got maybe, I don't know, I want to say like 2 inches, maybe 3 last night. But really it's just like everything was kind of iced over and, it's underneath the snow. It's all slushy because the ground's still warm. And so, dude, the drive to work today was a fucking nightmare. It normally takes me 35-ish minutes to get to work. It took me an hour and 20 minutes to get to work today. And it's not because I was struggling. It was because of literally everybody else. I stopped to get gas, and then I was going to stop at Walmart on my way in because I wanted a little extra something for lunch or whatever. And I had already started going towards Conneaut Lake, which is, whatever. So I was like, I'll just go to the Meadville Walmart. It's like 5 minutes extra to my commute to go to the Meadville Walmart and then hop on 79, yada, yada. There was listeners in the show, a lot of listeners in the show won't know what I'm talking about, but you'll know what I'm talking about. You know how between Walmart and Meadville and Conneaut Lake, there's that Gable Hill goes down?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Literally, maybe halfway down the hill, there was a tractor trailer sideways blocking the entire downhill half.
How's that even happen?
Hill. Dude, I don't even know. I have no idea. You would think like they would slide all the way down the hill or something, but this thing was literally half to like 2/3 of the way up the hill. And it was sideways to where it was blocking both of the westbound lanes and the center lane. It was blocking that whole area. And it was getting to the point where, like, if you were coming down the hill, at the top, when you crest the hill, you would not see it. Like, as soon as you go over the hill, you'd see this fucking tractor trailer. And it's like, where do you go?
Yeah.
And so, like, all these cars are backed up to go up the hill. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm not dealing with this. And I like turned around, went back towards Conneaut Lake, and then I stopped at Sheetz because I needed to get gas. And then I got on 285 to go down towards Geneva. And it was like, bro, the fucking car in front of me was doing like 15 miles an hour, and they were in the middle of the fucking road.
Yeah.
And it's like a state road, a 55-mile-an-hour state road with like rumble strips in the middle. And this guy was literally straddling the rumble strips in the middle of the road. The road wasn't even completely covered. It was just there was a decent amount of snow on the road. Mm-hmm. And it had been plowed at some point. And he's in the middle of the fucking road doing 10 miles an hour, 15 miles an hour. And then when a car would come the other way, he would get over in our lane. And then he would get back in the middle of the fucking... And it's like, you can't pass him. The roads are bad enough. You can't do anything.
Right.
And it's like these people... It's like... I know this is around here. This is a cliche, and it's like a trite statement. But it's like, dude, we do this every fucking year. How do you not remember what it's like to drive in the snow? Like I'm talking to people at work today, and a guy that I talked to today had a good point where I was like. It can't be that there's that many new people in the area since last winter that just doesn't know how to drive in the snow. Mm-hmm. It's like either people got caught off guard and they don't have winter tires on their vehicle, which is possible.
I don't have winter tires on my car.
But you have an all-wheel drive vehicle. Like, you shouldn't be, in the snow we had today, you shouldn't be so terrified of the fucking snow that you're going 10 miles an hour on a road that has been plowed.
Right.
It's like, if that's the way you feel about driving, you should not be on the road. But the other thing that my coworker brought up that is kind of interesting is that, like, cars nowadays are so easy to drive because of all the technology that I think people just don't fucking know how to actually control a vehicle anymore. And so when snow happens, they're just like, well, traction control doesn't keep me from fucking driving this thing off the road anymore. Yeah. So I guess I just better go 1 mile an hour. I don't know. It's a digression. We argue about or fucking complain about it every year. And I get, like, the other thing is, like, I know from the time I was a child, I've always, like, rode dirt bikes and four-wheelers and, drove cars and, did off-road stuff and all. So, like, I know that I'm more well-equipped than most people to, like, deal with loss of traction and shit like that. But it's like, I don't know. I almost feel like you shouldn't be able to pass your driver's test if you haven't driven in the snow. But it's like, it's just a thing around here. I don't know. And it's like, once winter gets going, everything's fine, like mid-winter. But it's like, that first month, it's like a mass hysteria or something where, like, everybody's, like, memory of driving in the snow has just been deleted.
Yeah.
For the first, like, 3 weeks of the year. Anyway, a bit of digression. But that's other than that, I mean, I'm doing fine. It's cold. Like, it's like this type of, like, first time it gets the first little bit when it gets this cold and it's like blowing and shit. It, like, feels way colder than it actually is because you're not used to it.
Yeah.
So,
it's
like,
just like when it's like 50 degrees, like after winter, everyone's out in shorts.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I'm kind of feeling that right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm, like, in my office. Like, I wore long johns underneath my jeans today to work because it was just like I just know walking around the shop, I'm just going to feel cold, even though it's not actually that cold.
Yeah, right.
So, but other than, dealing with that crap, doing pretty good. How about you?
Good. I'm good. I was at work on Friday, and I take it back, Thursday evening, my buddy Mike Rock out of Pittsburgh, he plays in some great bands. He played in a band called Voice in the Wire. He also played in a band called Teddy Duchamp's Army, and they're fantastic. He's got a lot of credibility and legacy in Pittsburgh. We've always had a good mutual friendship just through punk rock and stuff. And he goes, "Yo, dude," he goes, "you going to the show on Friday?" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, Hot Water Music's playing in New Kensington." And I'm like, "What?" I was like, "That's cool." And I was like, "That's crazy. I didn't even know." And he goes, "Yeah, they're out with Bane." He goes, "I've got an extra ticket. You want to come out Friday? I'll leave it at the door, or I'll leave it for you, or whatever." I said, "Yeah, dude, I'll go." So I got up at 6 a.m, worked till 5 p.m., drove an hour and a half to New Kensington, got there at like 6:40. Didn't leave the concert till like 11:30 at night, and drove an hour and a half back home. So it was like a 6 a.m. till 1 a.m. day, And I was just like, I can't fucking keep doing this shit. But the show was awesome. It was great. I saw so many people, dude. I saw Max Steiner and Matt Perry, and I saw my buddy Mike Torty used to do a ton of booking out back when I was younger with Signal Home and the Twerps. Even he booked the Twerpentine's last show with Bayside, and Bayside played it with us, and Slow Ride, and then I think there was another really good band that was on that show, and that was just ridiculous. And he reminded me that a window got broken at that show. He rented out the Sportsman Club, and he was told he couldn't book any more shows there after that. He said, but it was all worth it. He was like, it's all worth it. It was so good to see you. I was like, thanks, man. Great to see you too.
How are those like Andy and freaking Matt and them, like, how are they doing?
They're good, man.
I've never been close friends with them, but I've been acquainted with them over the years. So I'm just kind of curious about how they.
Yeah, Andy's got a couple kids. Matt's got some kids. It's all good. They're living the life.
I saw that show and I was thinking about going, but then I was just kind of like, this was like months ago. I saw that they were going to play there, and I was like, oh, I'll check into it later. It was like at a spot that like I didn't really want to go to, and but I was like, well, maybe I'll be, maybe I'll talk to Fred about it, or something.
You
whatever.
should have, man.
And then I literally, after I looked at it and had that thought, it just out of my brain. I didn't even think about it, and I had no idea it was this soon. So when you said you just went to the show, it's like, oh, I guess that happened. I thought it was like in the spring or something. I didn't realize it was this close, because you know how far out shows book now.
Yeah,
it's like I would have thought, I saw this, so it must be next year. And no, that's awesome though.
Dude, it was great. It was great. And Bane,
have they played like?
Go ahead. What's that?
I've never heard Bane. No.
Yeah, they're good.
I was wondering if aren't they like writing new stuff?
Hot Water? They've been putting out lots of records, dude. They've been just active all the time. They just
that's cool.
They played some great old. They played a lot of old songs, which is really cool. And man, just such a good band. They just absolutely know how to write a good song. That's just it. They just can write a good song, dude. And there's something about that band. I wrote Mike this morning because I was thinking more about that show on Friday. And we're recording this on Tuesday for the record, not Monday. Usually we record on Monday and let the patrons of the show get it a little early. But I apologize. We're doing this on Tuesday. Veterans Day, so happy Veterans Day to everybody out there. But dude, something about Hot Water Music is that they get up there and they play, and every song they play live is about 25 BPM faster than how it is on the record, and those guys are just electric up there. Like, they're just, dude, I've never seen that band put on a show where I was like, they didn't really seem into it. Like, every single show, they're full fucking tilt, and they're like probably in their 50s now, pushing it at least. But man, and I told Mike that, I just said, these guys, they just love this. You can just see that they just love doing this. And it's so invigorating to watch. It's good. It's good.
After this many years, that's awesome. I mean, how long have they been doing it?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking 30 years?
Well, I also don't know how you couldn't. Like, when that band plays, everyone's just like singing the words, and everybody's just like
into it.
Yeah, it's just totally cool. That venue it was at is called Preserving Underground. And I've got a funny story about this show. Well, Preserving Underground, their wristband, I still have it. It just says "You may die here." They don't have any bag policy, and they don't have like any fucking, like, they don't want anybody. They're just like, just don't be a dick. So they think it's funny that's kind of like their slogan is "You may die here." So yeah, enter at your own risk. But dude, what's weird is my buddy Mike, like I said, he's got a lot of lineage in Pittsburgh, and the guy was looking for a local opener for that show. And Mike told me all about this when I got there. I didn't know anything about it. And he wanted Teddy Duchamp's Army to play, but Mike was just like, dude, we weren't ready, like, at all to play. And because they had taken a huge hiatus. They're actually recording a record right now, and they wanted me to jump in and be in their band. There was just no way I could have done it. But he told me that that the guy was like, well, who should we get? And then he's buddies with another band in Pittsburgh called Latecomer. And then, of course, Mike also loves us. And he just wrote the guy back. He goes, well, Latecomer's from Pittsburgh, and One Up by Land would be a great fit, too. And he showed me the text that he sent the guy. And the guy was like, well, so-and-so from Latecomer used to work here, so I'll just text him. It's like, fuck, dude, we came so close to opening this show for Hot Water. It would have been amazing.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, but it's cool to have friends that look out for you and try, you know what I mean? So, needless to say, that was a good time this weekend. We played a little bit of Hero Quest on Sunday, and dude, it was just, these quests on the Frozen Horror are just getting longer and longer, and I just told the guys, I said, listen, this shit's going to stay out on my table for a week. I said, we got to be done. I can't focus. Like, this is just taking too long. And they're like, yeah, we can't fucking keep playing this right now. So it's the only quest we've done in like the last 3 years that we just couldn't keep going. It was just like, it was a slog. But anyways, we had fun, and we're going to finish that up this Sunday probably. But outside of that, man, I'm doing all right. I'm cold like yourself, and I don't know. It's just, it's hard to believe it's already mid-November almost. It's just ridiculous. Thanksgiving's right around the corner. Before you know it, we'll be putting the Christmas stuff away. You know what I mean? It's wild.
Yeah, it's really, really creeping up fast, I think. And we've got a lot. We got to like go on a trip and do a lot of weird shit this year for Christmas, so it's gonna be a fucking whole thing. But yeah,
right. Yeah,
work is busy, so it's like I don't even have time to just freaking figure shit out. It's like, I don't know. And I like to try to do like homemade gifts and stuff for Christmas. I don't like buying stuff just because it's like I don't know. First of all, I think it's more stressful than making something. And at least like making something, it's like, oh, I know this is something you can't get at the store. Like you can go fucking, you don't need me to buy you a gift card for Red Lobster. I mean, you can just go to Red Lobster and pay for it. But, you can't get I don't know. Like last year I made like, I handmade some like small like wooden clocks that I gave like my brother and his wife and my in-laws and my parents. I gave them all one. And Sarah made like a custom, like she made like a homemade plushie for my nephew. But it's just like every year it's like I've got to think about whether I'm buying something or making something. It's like I got to start now because by the time I actually get going on this shit, I'm going to look up at the calendar and it's going to be fucking December.
Yeah.
So
it's not my favorite time of year, man. I don't love this time of year.
Yeah, it is a thing. Anyway, we can get going.
Well, as the listeners know, we finally made it to episode 400, and this is actually pretty. I mean, you'd mentioned maybe having LJ on, and I've been gaming with him. We'll get to that later, and I honestly didn't even bring this up to him, and that's on me. It would have been cool to have another guest on, or your brother Josh, or somebody, but it looks like it's just you and I, man. And I just thought I combed through, and I will admit that with the aid of AI, I was able to have it scrape our podcast and pull up some cool episodes and what we talked about and when they aired and stuff. And I thought that would be kind of a nice way to kind of do a recap of the show. I've been doing this for a really long time, man, and I don't know how much longer this is going to go. I mean, I don't know. We've tried really hard to get a listener base, and it's never stopped us before. It probably won't stop us now. But the numbers just aren't fantastic for the show. But those of you listen, we do appreciate the camaraderie and the write-ins and all that stuff. And this has always been a labor of love for us. And as we've gotten older, it's hard to find ways to justify the time commitment to do these things, right? And a little bit of kickback, a little bit of money always helps. We're not doing it for that reason. And this is not anything Jake and I have even talked about, but I'm just being open. Like I don't know. The plan isn't to quit, but 400 is pretty awesome, man. It's hard to think that we have that many episodes. And looking at when some of these first episodes aired, and I don't even know if this is true because the way looking at some of these, I had to pull a lot of information though to get this to work. But we initially started the podcast, I believe, on Podbean, which was a website. And when we might have been paying for that service. I don't remember if we were or not. I think we were. But eventually we took a big hiatus, a long time. And then when we came back, I was just like, there's got to be a better and free way to do this. So we started posting all of our episodes to archive.org and then linking them through a Tumblr site. But what I did was I was able to get the majority of every single episode, one through 400, one through like 200 almost, on Tumblr and on archive.org, and make links for every single one of them. So if you want to go to psisawesome.tumblr.com, you can find all of our old shows, which is kind of cool. That's all referencing the archive.org website. And then I was like, man, this isn't really like easy. It's not streamlined. It takes forever. And then I found a free site, acast.com, where we can post our podcast, and it does the distribution. There's some behind the scenes stuff that I'm doing still with all of that. But so episodes around like 198 or 200 up through 400 have all been, they're not on Tumblr. They're not there because we quit posting to Tumblr. But we started using Acast. So all that stuff should be in the historical search on like Apple Music, all that stuff, whatever you guys use. And we only recently started doing YouTube videos for the podcast also. It wasn't always a video podcast. We started off video, we were doing live streams, and then we didn't do them because it was we had some watchers, and we're talking like 2013, 2014, we were live streaming the show, which is crazy. But I don't know. So anyways, we stopped doing it, and now we're doing it again. We're not live streaming, but we are recording video for the folks, as YouTube is now a prominent thing. But I don't know, Jake, before we kick in and talk about a couple of these episodes and the important ones, the key ones, some of the key ones, some of the stuff we talked about, just as a quick synopsis of some of the stuff we've done, is there anything you want to talk about as far as being the 400th episode?
No, I mean, it's kind of weird just because it doesn't feel like we've done that many, but I mean, if you actually think about it, we have been doing it for over 10 years. Inconsistently at times. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if we were doing it for 10 years consistently, we would be around the 500 mark. But it is pretty weird. And to be honest, it's gone through a lot of weird like iterations. When we first did it, we were like sitting in my basement together.
Yeah. And
the episodes were like 3 hours long, and we were just rambling and chatting about it. And then we had all this ambition, and we were doing like then we started doing like the live stream thing where we're actually using, what is it, like livestream.com or something?
It was called livestream.com.
Yeah. And that was pretty interesting. I mean, not that we ever got a ton of followers or whatever, but I'm not fucking kidding. I think if we literally had like jumped to Twitch or something and just did that and stuck with it and like was consistent every single week, I bet our podcast would be fucking huge. But it's like, it's just too hard with like our schedules to be able to do that kind of thing. And then there was like a period of time where like shit was getting like, we were trying to do as much news as possible, and stuff started getting kind of stale because we were talking about shit that we didn't care about. And so the podcast kind of got a little bit sort of like, I don't want to say low energy, but kind of, because it was just like, we were just kind of like running through the motions a little bit.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of like in and out and inconsistency with like the scheduling, just because I was moving, and then, you know, we both got married, and then there was like a bunch of other shit happening. And then once things kind of settled down with, you know, me being out here and everything like that, we started doing the remote recording, and that seems to have helped a lot with everything.
With the consistency,
Yeah, it makes things easier. Obviously, the podcasts have gotten shorter, and to be honest, that's kind of just a product of it being just the two of us, and also like we're not talking about everything. We're just talking about the very specific things that we actually want to talk about, and so, you know, and obviously because we don't have a huge audience, we don't have like a ton of listener interaction,
right? So
there's not a lot of time spent there. But like, to be honest, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, sometimes I wish that it was a little bit easier. It sounds crazy because it's like we're doing it remote and it's like we just like fucking sit down and press the record button. But it's like it's still like I kind of wonder at some point if there isn't going to be just like imagine if there was a resource, and maybe this does exist, but imagine if there was a resource, and even if you had to pay for it, where it was like Zencaster or something, but you uploaded your intro song, you uploaded your intro graphics, you basically preemptively named the episode or whatever, and you just sat down, literally press the record button, and then when you're done recording, it literally AI makes the synopsis, it publishes to YouTube, it publishes to fucking all of the other, like you don't have to do any of that.
Yeah, that'd be so nice.
Because it's like, I know it's, you know, obviously it's like first world problems here with this type of stuff, and it's like, you know, obviously it's a labor of love or whatever, but like, dude, it's like, for example, I love playing music, but dude, I never practice. I never, ever practice. Occasionally, I have behind my desk here in my study, I have my acoustic guitar in the case, like literally still in the case, just laying on the floor, because it's like, oh, if it's right there, I'll pick it up and start playing with it a little bit or whatever. But like a lot of times I would love to play my bass or love to play my electric, but it's like that hassle of like getting all of the shit out and getting it all set up and adjusting everything and tweaking stuff and playing some shit and having to like pull maybe something up to play to or whatever. It's like, that sounds so trivial, but when you're really busy and it's like, oh, it's easier for me to just sit down and play something on my PlayStation. Or it's easier for me to just fucking turn on a hockey game or whatever. You know, and so like, you know, these things matter. So like if there was something where Fred and I could literally just like both sit down on our computers and press one button and we're fucking recording, and then it just shoots it off.
As soon as
all
we're
the
done,
public,
it's done. Yeah.
It's like, it would be, we could almost record like twice a week because it wouldn't be that big of an issue. We could just sit down for an hour, shoot the shit, and then just zip it off and go about our business.
Dude, there's so much to it, man. Like, so
yeah.
For those who don't know, we do know, I take notes for the show, usually the day of, to make sure they're as current as I can. And then right now we record the video on Discord. Ryan told us about this, and thank you for that tip, because we were having trouble figuring out how to even do the video. And then we capture it with OBS. OBS exports it to a video and audio file, one file. It's got the video and audio baked in. And then I put it in with the intro graphic into DaVinci Resolve, get that version done, compress the audio so it sounds nice for the whole podcast. And then I take that video version and I have to import it into Logic, and then I open the movie, but just the audio track. And then I have to have two different tracks because we don't want to over compress the intro song, but we kind of want to keep it as is. And then I got to make it an MP3 for the audio version of the podcast. And then I got to import that into iTunes, upload the graphic, redo all the ID3 stuff, the tags, and then I have to save it. And then once it's all saved, I have to create a YouTube thumbnail. And then not only do I have to do the thumbnail, I have to write the synopsis for when we post it to YouTube, and we post it to our audio links on Spotify and all this stuff. So then I have to upload it in 3 different places. I have to upload the audio to Patreon, and if it's an early release for our members, I have to indicate that, and I got to put the synopsis in there and do that upload, just the audio. And I have to upload the audio to Acast, and Acast will put it out on all the preferred streaming platforms for us, but I have to do all the things, and I can't fuck up. I can't say that it's not explicit when it is. We can get in trouble, all this stuff. So you're combing over with a fine-tooth comb. And then I have to upload it to YouTube and make sure I take that YouTube thumb that I made and put that on YouTube, and then also schedule that for a Wednesday release, Tuesday at midnight. Wednesday at midnight, whatever you want to call it. But so once all of that's done, then it gobbles up my internet bandwidth for the next 35 minutes. So I'm done on a Monday night or Tuesday night, and I just want to sit and watch YouTube before I go to bed, and I can't because it's just uploading this fucking huge ass video file for a podcast, and I'm just like bored out of my mind, and I'm tired, but I don't want to lay down because I can't do anything on the internet anyways. So as soon as it uploads, internet frees up, I lay down, I go to bed. And like literally we work Monday and Tuesday, the days that we do this. So we're doing the notes on the weekends, and then Monday or preferably Monday, we work all day, get home at 5:30, and then we start recording the episode right at 6. And then that takes me through 9:30, 10 o'clock at night Monday. So I've worked all day, and then I go till 10 at night. And then Tuesday and then Wednesday, whatever, I have a band practice, and then I'm doing other shit in my life. You know what I mean? So it's a huge time suck. But it is a labor of love. But that's how we do the podcast. And it would be so cool to have someone that would just be like, yeah, we'll do this shit for you. But we're not paying anybody anything. Because, we don't have any money. So the podcast barely sustains
We'll give you
itself.
100% of our Patreon proceeds.
Yeah, right. Yeah. After they take all the fees and everything else out of it.
It's
ridiculous.
interesting, but it is. I mean, it has been good though, and it has been fun. I do think that it would be cool to like maybe do a few more episodes, not all the time, but like. It is fun when we occasionally have someone like LJ on or something like that, where it's like, we got another guy who just kind of hops on and sucks up some of the air and, grants a fresh perspective. And you guys can talk about baseball, and I can argue about how boring it is, and like, or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's an interesting thing because we used to do weird shit like that all the time. Like I don't know if any of this is in your recap stuff, but like I think our episode 100 or whatever it was, or episode 50 or episode 100, we had like fucking 8 or 9 people on the podcast. It was like insane.
Yeah, and episode was 100. It was episode 100. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was weird. It was just like all of our friends we just invite. It's like, have you ever played a video game before? Yeah, come over and be on the podcast and tell us about it.
Tell us
it
what
was
you're
just
playing.
really,
let's talk about games.
really interesting. So
cool.
anyway.
Well, anyways, let's talk about some of these episodes.
Yeah, sure.
First episode I have here that it came out around 2013 at some point, and I don't know if you remember, Jake, but this was a really long episode. In our synopsis,
it was like 3 hours and 20 minutes or something. It was like really long.
Our synopsis said that we kick off the podcast discussing PlayStation Plus, Warhammer 40K Space Marines, Tomb Raider, Call of Duty, Medal of Honor, while speculating about the next PlayStation system.
That's so funny that the Space Marine thing goes back to episode 1.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's so
That's
wild.
funny.
Yeah. And then, another important episode would have been 50. We gave a nice thank you to the listeners on episode 50 weeks of awesome. We covered PlayStation TV. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, yeah, I still have mine.
Final Fantasy X, X2, HD, Cross Save, Oddworld, Munch's Odyssey. Is that his name? Munch?
Yeah.
On PS Plus. Ubisoft Security Breach, Borderlands 2 deals. And then... yeah, that was good. We started getting our legs around episode 50, I would think. And then episode 100 was the Centennial Hangout for sure. That's we were 2 years in at that point. And the podcast was never, dude, it was never always weekly. We went bi-weekly. We went monthly.
We started bi-weekly, I think. And then we started doing weekly. And then, it's been all over the place, unfortunately.
Yeah, so Troy, my brother Seth was there. Troy plays in my band. This is 2015. Ted was there, Bryce was there, and the White Elephant. And I don't remember who the White Elephant was. That maybe Ted?
That might have been the other Ted. I think both Teds were there.
And we kind of all had a nice discussion, like Jake said. We talked about our favorite genres. We actually had Destiny beta codes. I think maybe we were giving out. And we raised a few beers for the community. We cheersed. It was a very loose celebration of the podcast of hitting episode 100 with our friends, and that was a fun one. If you guys want to dial back to that, 150 was in 100 was in 2015. Episode 150 was 2020. That's where we,
that must have been where we lost all of our time.
Yeah, dude, between 2015 and 2020.
Yeah, because I got married in there. And I don't know if that was when you got married. I don't remember, but I know that was like I bought my house and I moved in there and we were switching to remote. It was weird.
It was a weird time, but On episode 150, Jake, we both counted down our top 5 games of the PlayStation 4 generation. We were debating about Ghost of Tsushima, Call of Duty Cold War, and the trend of early game announcements. And it was just a nice reflective episode to bridge the PS4 into the PS5 era. And then in August of 2021, the PSVR 2 leaks started happening. Grand Theft Auto Remaster chatter was going on. There was a shift into the studio management of PlayStation, which was interesting. And then our very next one, we launched Patreon, episode 187, is when we launched our Patreon.
Dude, it's crazy to imagine that most of our episodes are actually during the PS5 generation.
That is wild to think about.
Because to be fair, 2013 was when we started. It was the end of the PS3 generation.
Yeah.
And then we did the PS4 generation. But the PS4 generation was fucking, 7 years long.
But we had a huge hiatus.
And so almost all, not almost all, but probably not quite 250 of them. But probably pretty close to that. 280 of them have been in the PS5 generation.
Yeah.
That's pretty nanners.
That is nuts, man. And back to what I was saying, though, Patreon launched back in 2021, episode 187, and we haven't really done much with it. It's still the same thing. Get a sticker, get a shout out on the show. We have been trying to give the episode out a little early. We didn't start with that. We came out with no promises. If you love the show, you listen to it. $1 doesn't hurt a month. It helps us.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice. And again, if you guys are interested in that, it's psisawesome.patreon.com or patreon.com/psisawesome. That's what it is. Patreon.com/psisawesome. And then I'm going to skip 193. It doesn't really matter. We were just talking about how the PlayStation ecosystem is expanding. Apple Music became available on the PS5. And all that kind of stuff. But 201 was our bucket list episode. Close to episode 200. That was December, day after Christmas. It aired, 2021. And we were just kind of admitting to all the games that we never finished. I kind of want to
go back and listen to that one because I don't remember. I don't remember most of this, so it's pretty. I have a really bad memory, but
yeah, 201's a good one.
I bet it's pretty good.
Yeah, 250. We talked about 250 is a big, nice round number. We talked about games that we spent the most time in. That was in November of 22, and it was a kind of a special, I guess, a retrospective looking at all the games. And it says here 300 hours of PSTI were recorded. PS is awesome. I guess maybe we had 300 hours at that point, maybe just by the math.
That seems low.
It does seem low.
If it's episode 250, because those early episodes were all really long.
Yeah.
And so like at least 2 hours usually. Yeah. So I'm kind of curious about that. Wasn't this where we found out that your fucking most time played was some really bizarro game? It
was like MLB The Show or something, wasn't it?
No, it was like
Pinball Arcade or something?
No, it was. I know mine was like Diablo 4, I think, or Diablo 3.
Yeah.
But I think yours was like. It wasn't The Witcher, but it was like something kind of like that. I don't know.
We'd have to listen to it. Episode 250. Yeah. And then we hit 300 not long ago, man. We were at 300 on July 2023. That's when Final Fantasy 16 came out. There's a lot of Spider-Man 2 hype. PS5s, where we were at. We weren't really sure where it was as far as its cycle. And it was a nice retro looking back then. But 350, there were PS5 Pro rumors, Alan Wake 2, PSVR 2 storytelling. We talked about some industry analysis where things were going, and just as of recently, 397. I'm hopping into Art Creators. You're doing Ghost of Yōtei, and PS Store updates, playthroughs, and all that kind of stuff. Talking about headline news, and now here we are, man. 10-ish some years. 400 episodes behind us now, and an enduring love for PlayStation, Jake. So this is cool, man. This is fun. That was fun to look through, kind of think about how long. It's just like, it just didn't seem like a special day to me, to be honest. And I was just like, I'll do the notes. And then I started thinking about 400. That's kind of a big deal. Once it's in, it's in, you know, it's onwards and upwards.
Yeah, it is kind of, it's kind of one of those things where it's just like we were just talking about with the holidays.
Yeah.
It's like, without anyone hounding you about how this is happening or it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like, it just sneaks up on you. It's like, oh, all of a sudden it's fucking episode 400 of the podcast.
Yeah.
And now what do we do? But, yeah, I will say that, it's been a ride for sure.
Yeah. And of course, through all of this, you know, I think there's some YouTube videos of me opening like the DualSense, us looking at our PlayStation 4s when we get them in the mail. I think there's definitely one of those, an opening of the PS4, the Vita. We talk about all that stuff, and I don't know what episodes those were. I couldn't even begin to tell you, but they're in there somewhere. But I was surprised that we were able to get a list like this to begin with in such short time. But yeah, man. So, you know, this is 400. You know, for the games that we love, the listeners, and the journey it's taken us this far, man. I appreciate your time, Jake, and the listeners' time, and everybody who comes in and just spends some time with us every week to listen to us talk about whatever we're talking about. It's cool. That being said, let's talk about games we're playing, man. Dude, you want to talk about sinking some time into games? Arc Raiders has its hooks in me still. I can't put this game down. It's fantastic. I understand why everybody is in this game. Everyone's playing this game. I've got some people now. My buddy Neil down in Kentucky that I met from touring a long time ago. He's playing a band called Nine Ball. He hit me up. He's playing on PC. He goes, yo, dude, I see you're playing Arc Raiders. Hit me up, buddy. We'll play. And then we've been playing some runs. It's been real fun. And it's a nice social environment when you get to run with people that you know, because you can catch up, see how their life's been. You know, just shoot the shit and then play a really fun game that has a lot of comedic moments and a lot of movie set pieces. Like, a lot of, not even intentional, but they have these things called leapers in Arc Raiders, and they're these huge spider-like looking machines. They're gigantic. And we had scored like me, LJ, and his buddy Blake. We were playing, and we're running in single file, all separated quite a bit, and we're running to this extract. And there's like bots chasing us in the air, shooting at us. We're dodge rolling and stuff. And then I just hear, oh, leaper! And Blake's freaking out. And I see this huge spider thing just come careening out of the sky. And it lands on him. He's like, guys, I'm done. And then LJ and I peel off to the side. And he's just like, help me, revive me. And we're just like, nah, dude, we got to extract. We got stuff. And he's like, Dude, it looked like it was almost like a cinematic from Uncharted. Like, dust was kicking up everywhere. This thing's red eyes were like staring at me while it was standing on him, and I was just like fucking running. It was so fun.
So you just left your bro to get fucking...
You can't kill those things. Yeah, murked. I mean... Dude, these arcs are really tough to kill, but we've been having such a blast. There's so many stories. I feel we're going to get into the player base, but when I started playing it, the lobbies were really, really friendly, and I was going to be like, Jake, man, just jump in, man. People are cool. People are really cool, and people just want to learn this game together, and it's a different vibe than these other games. Dude, you're going to hit some sort of terminal number where, like, you're going to have so many people that the odds are that the average is just going to be the average. You know what I mean? Like, the people who are really interested in this game for what it was is there, but now it's picked up all of this momentum. And I'm noticing way more PvP now that the game's been out for a while and that the player count's way higher. And it is kind of frustrating because initially, that first week, man, you'd be running, and then someone would be like, yo, you friendly? And you'd be like, yeah, dude, I'm cool. And then, like, you guys would, like, hang out. Like, you looking for anything? You looking for gears? You looking for, syringes? Are you looking for, metal, scraps? And then I'd be like, yeah. And they drop it. And then I'm like, what are you looking for? Oh, I need a cat bed. And you throw a fucking cat bed out, and the dude will pick it up. And then all right, hey, happy raiding. You guys would go. That was like the vibe of this game. And you would, like, team up with strangers and just fight these things. And then you could just split off at any point you wanted. And you just run into cool different people, and people be sharing different tricks. And, like, oh, you should go to this place, pull up your map, I'll tell you where to go, you know what I mean? And like, it was really awesome. It's like exactly what you want a game like this to be, with some element of PvP. There were still people trying to kill you. There needs to be that pressure and that threat at all times, or else like it would take the fun away. But now it's just like, I'm running, people are like, yo, you friendly? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm cool. And then it's like, yeah, me too. And then you'll start running by them and then just get shot in the fucking back by them. And they'll be like, see you in the lobby. And they'll fucking punch you and you lose all your shit. And it's just like, this sucks. Like I get that that's a tactic of playing this game. But like, it's cheap, dude. If that's the only way you can take someone out is pretending to be their friend and tell them that you're going to run a quest with them and help them. And then do everything and then just murder them and take their shit when they're not looking. That's dirty. And like, this is happening a lot in this game. It's happened a lot to me. And it kind of ticks me off because the game vibe was so much cooler. And I'm not saying it's not. You get in the right maps, you get in the right lobbies, you can still have a really good time. But you can holster your weapon in this game. I don't holster it anymore. And I just tell people, I said, listen, I'm friendly, but if you get fucking close or whatever, we're going to start shooting. And I just tell, like, listen, unless you're really legit, but I start bringing heavier shields, which limits what I can loot, and it's just like, man, it makes it a little harder. But I do recognize that another thing that sucked. I was playing it earlier today, and there was an arc killing this dude. This guy kept getting froze up and shocked, going like this, and they were shooting with fucking guns. And I rolled in and I killed these things, and he fucking killed me. He took my shit, and I was like, dude, this is just ridiculous. It's frustrating, when you're trying to run and you don't have a ton of time to play these games, and when you're getting in there and people are just intentionally, the goal of the game, like they have a theme, and it's to stop the arcs topside, right? It's to get the stuff for your city, to bring it back, to help your people, to stop the invasion. That's the vibe and the theme and the setting. And I know there's going to be trouble up top. I'm not one of those pussies who's just like, oh, I don't want PvP. You got to have it. Because if it's just that the robots, you can make as much noise as you want if you have the right weapons and you know where to go, and you can always hide in a building, and a lot of the robots don't come in the buildings. And you need that threat of other people in this game. It's integral to the gameplay and for the fun and for the cycle and the game loop. But dude, when people are just straight up too chicken shit to like just say, hey, let's duel it out, or let's shoot, they shoot on sight and they pretend to be your buddy, and then they just start fucking following you, and it's a 50-50 chance whether they're legit or not. And it's like, I want to have those experiences with friendly people because it's really fun, but I don't want to do that at the risk of losing my fucking loadout. So now like it's just kind of tainted now, and you just don't know who to trust. You know what I mean? That's kind of frustrating. But anyways.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the role play, though, in those games.
It is. I get it.
It's just unfortunate that it can be when people start acting that way, and unfortunately, in this type of like, you can imagine a world where the world of arc raiders is real. That would be a type of person that you would come across.
Of
right?
course, yeah.
However, the problem with this a lot of times is that in games like this, people realize that this is actually an effective tactic for succeeding in the game, and then it becomes the norm and not a random one-off of like a fucking crazy guy.
Yeah, right.
And so like, unless the game like these games are all about, like, that's why there's cheaters. Like, people just want to win. So it's like, unless they figure out a way to sort of manage that whole, oh, this is the best way to succeed thing, everyone's just going to do it. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, right.
And then it's going to get to a point now where there's going to be no collaboration because nobody's going to trust each other. And then it's just going to be a gunfight all the time, which kind of honestly eliminates probably 75% of like the nuance of the game.
Yeah,
where it's like when you meet new people. So like I don't know how you do this without also like ruining the game, but like it would be cool if there was almost a mode
bounty system.
A bounty system would be cool, or even if there was a mode where it was like when you can like there's like a mode where you can engage in like a contract with other people, and once that contract is engaged, there's no friendly fire. And if you want to break that, there is some kind of warning signal to the other members of the party.
Yeah.
That give them some kind of a heads up where you're not just going to get fucking shot in the back of the head every time.
Yeah, right.
I get it. That breaks a lot. That breaks an aspect of the game.
It does, yeah. It's important
the
that
Wild
you can
West
do
nature
that.
of it.
That's what makes it interesting and fun, and it's kind of exhilarating when you find someone you're rolling around with them, and you're just kind of your guards up, and you're kind of watching them. You're like, is this guy going to turn on me? That's kind of fun, but when it happens, and because you can die very quickly in this game, you know what I mean? It's really easy to get taken out in a PvP shootout, and when you're carrying something, I'll give you an example of something that happened to me that made for a great experience because it ended well for me. But I ran a quest, and sometimes some of these quests that you get are you need to complete one thing and extract, right? That could be a quest. Like you got to go pick up find seeds, bring it back to extraction. You get experience. Some of the quests, though, are like multi-part. So this one specific that I had was that I had to go to this, essentially it was like a choke point for vehicles. And there's no vehicles running. They're all dilapidated and rusted out. But you have to go there because there's these old toll booths, and you're supposed to find a key card in one of the toll booths. And you're supposed to take that key card, and you're supposed to get further into that tunnel and find an armored vehicle and use the key card to open up the hatch and get whatever the fuck's out of it. I had the key card, but I didn't have it in my safe pocket. In between getting the key card and getting to this vehicle, I was killed. So the quest didn't complete, and it's only half complete because I had picked up the key card, but the key card then was lost. So I couldn't restart the quest to have the key card repopulate, so I had to go find it naturally as a random drop on this map. And I had gone in 4 or 5 different times searching everything. And I was out this one time, I'm in this village, and I'm looking for this fucking key card because every time I play this map, I get the alert that the quest is half done and I got to still unlock the back of this thing. Well, I'm out and about, and a random person comes up. And they're like, hey, man, are you friendly? And I'm like, yeah, I'm friendly. Are you friendly? Yeah, man, I'm cool. And they're like, what are you looking for? And I'm like, I'm looking for a key card, dude. And this person was cool. And they started looking around all these buildings to help me find this key card. And we didn't find it, but I was like, yo, dude, thanks. And he was like, yeah, man, no problem. He goes, I'm going to add you as a friend if you ever want to jump in a squad or whatever, feel free to accept. I said, cool, man. And he was totally cool and just wanted to play the game, right? And then on that same run, I ended up walking down this like thing, and I just get hit by like a sniper. And I lost like all my health, all my shield. I was down to like a sliver, and I rolled away. And I have a crafting ability, and I had scavenged enough bed sheets and gas or something that I created like a bandage or whatever, and I bandaged myself up. And this guy's just camping outside. So I'm gonna go upstairs and try to get the drop on him. So I go upstairs and I find one cabinet and I search it and the key card's fucking in it. Now I don't have a shield and I have half-life and there's a camper out there somewhere. And it's taken me like 5 fucking raids to find this. And this guy kills me. I'm gonna be so fucking mad, right? So I'm just quiet and I'm just sitting in this room literally for 10 minutes. Because these matches are 30 minutes long or until you extract. And once the 30 minutes expires, things just start blowing up and you die. But I'm waiting. And then I'm like, dude, I got to move. Because the extractions, it's kind of like a battle royale where there's fewer and fewer extractions as time goes on. And it kind of pushes everybody. The map doesn't get smaller, but the viable extraction points get reduced. So by the end, like the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, there's only one place you can go, which means it could be a shootout. It might not fucking be a shootout. You don't know. You don't know how many people have extracted. That's another thing. It doesn't tell you how many players are on the map or in the game. It doesn't even tell you that. And there's no life gauges for the enemies when you attack them, so you have no idea how low they are. It's kind of crazy. You can see your own life gauge. So I'm like, dude, I got to roll. So I have this key card, and I'm just crouch walking. So it's fucking possible. Just going, and I'm just like looking over my shoulder. I don't see anybody, and I start rolling, dude. And then this bot spies me, and this red light highlights me. It's like, brr, brr, and I just fucking tail it. And I had adrenaline. I created adrenaline out of oil or something. I shot myself with like adrenaline. There's my stamina gauge didn't expire, and someone had already opened the hatch, and I can see it, and it's the door's lowering, and I'm just fucking booking. And I have this key card. I have like no health, and I fucking dodge roll slide into there, and I made it, dude. And it was so exhilarating and so wild. And I don't know what happened to the guy that tried to kill me, no clue, but I ended up getting the key card. I ended up going back out with a loot kit that gave me a safe pocket, put it in the safe pocket, and then I completed the quest later. But dude, it's fucking wild. You just don't know what you're going to run into, man. So the fact that guy was sniping and trying to kill me made the game better for me. The experience was better. I would have been really pissed that he killed me, but like, it was a good experience. So we need to have the PvP element, but not through deception. Like that's annoying to me. That's just annoying, you know? It's like anyone can do that.
But people love that shit. I mean, that's the whole point of games like Among Us and stuff. So like,
yeah,
you know, that's part of the shtick. But anyway, I mean,
dude, it's a great game.
I think my brother might have bought it. So if he did, I'll have access to it. So I might jump on and try it just to kind of get a feel for it. Yeah, I'm glad that you're enjoying it and you're getting some good use of it. God damn it.
I haven't played Battlefield 6 since Arc Raiders came out. And that was a $70 game.
Arc Raiders is what, $40?
Yeah. Haven't even thought about playing Battlefield 6. Haven't even considered it. Like, I had a good run going. I was upgrading all my like support class and stuff. I talked about it on one of the podcasts, but I haven't even touched it. But dude, Arc Raiders is the shit. I'm on it. Any chance I can, I'm fucking playing that game. It's so fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm still playing Ghost of Yōtei. Dude, I fucking love this game. I don't really know what else to say about it other than, like, there's just, like, some... It's just... it must be just better than Ghost of Tsushima. Because, like, I just did not connect with Ghost of Tsushima like I am this game. And, like, I'm, like, doing fucking everything. And just... You feel like such a badass whenever you... are able to do certain things, like you'll start unlocking all these abilities, and there's this like wolf character that's like it's like a wolf, like a wild wolf. It's not like a companion, it's like a wild wolf that will like follow you around sometimes, but not all the time. It'll just occasionally be in the area, and you can upgrade your relationship with this wolf based on like helping out, you know, helping kill wolf hunters and stuff. And when you max it out, you get this ability to play on your shamisen. You can play this Song of the Wolf. And if like you hear the wolf howling in the distance, you can play this song and it'll call it in. Oh, wow. And then it'll help you like fucking attack bad guys and shit.
Oh, that's cool.
And when you do the, like, if you decide to do like the standoff thing where like you encounter a group of enemies, you can do the standoff thing where you like sheath your sword and like they come attack you and you like kill them with one strike. If you call the wolf in, it joins you during the standoff, and the wolf will like kill one of the bad guys while like you're fucking doing your thing, and then you can like chain them together where like you upgrade it so you can have like additional kills after the first one.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times when you do it, like, you'll kill a guy with a katana, and his katana will go flying through the air, and it'll, like, stick in the ground beside you. And then when your chain is over, you just pick it up, and you fucking heave it, and you just, like, launch it into another dude and kill him. And then, like, before you know it, in, like, 2 seconds, you've just annihilated this group of bad guys.
That's
and
awesome.
It's, like... It's so... There's something about it that's so cool. Now, there are some aspects that are really frustrating, like... And it's probably a little bit just that I'm bad at the game, but like the guys that are using the Kusarigama, which is like it's like a sickle with a chain and a ball on the other end. Mm-hmm. And the enemies that use that, I struggle fighting them. I can't get the parry timing because when they're swinging it around, it's harder to see. It's not like whenever whenever like a guy with a sword comes and attacks you, you can like see it coming because of his animations.
Yeah.
But like with the Kusarigama, he's like fucking 10 feet away from you, and you see him like waving around, and then all of a sudden this thing hits you in the face. And it's just me being bad at the game. But like, I finally got to a part where there's a lot of guns, like a lot of like pistols and like muskets and stuff. And it's a little bit more challenging because in the earlier stages, the earlier areas, you can unlock an ability that allows you to, like, if you hold down the block button, it just deflects incoming arrows. Mm-hmm. And so, like, you hear the enemy getting ready to fire an arrow, and you just like hold the block button and deflect it or whatever. But you can't really do that when they're shooting a rifle at you. So you have to do like the dodging and stuff, and it's just more like there's like a lot of like tools and things you can use. Like there's like a thing where you can throw dust in like guys' eyes, and there's a smoke bomb where like
you can do that in one of the Tomb Raiders.
Yeah. And there's like a thing where like if you're sneaking around and you get spotted and they like rush you, you can throw a smoke bomb and it obscures them from view. So like while the smoke is there, you can do like assassinations, like one hit kills, and until it dissipates. Like it's really cool. And there's like other assassinations that you can do based on what armor you have. Like I unlocked this armor that's really cool where like they had this in the first game too, where like when you can unlock like a chain assassination, where like if you go up and there's two guys standing there, you can trigger a chain assassination where you kill the first guy, and then it shifts to the second guy, and you can kill him right away with the same sort of assassination kind of button prompt. But this armor that I got, now it also gives you the ability to do a chain assassination, but two of the guys can be farther away, where if you chain assassinate the first guy, the second guy or the second and third guy, you can throw a kunai knife at them and do that. And so it like, there's all these little things like that you can do to like kind of make the combat the way that you like it. And you don't really have to do it in any particular way. Yeah, it's easier to match the weapons up to make the combat a little bit easier. But if you want to just rock the katana, you can fight everybody with just the katana. It just makes it a little bit easier to switch up the weapons. So, yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I'm on like the like coastal area now. I think I'm like in like the last maybe third of the game. The end of it should go pretty quickly. I've just literally been doing all of the side shit. So I haven't been hardly doing any story content. And now I'm like sort of charging into the story, and I think that the end is going to kind of come pretty quickly for me. Cool. But yeah, man, it's like I'd have to go back and look at the other games that I played this year, but it could very easily be my favorite game of the year for sure.
Dude, I know LJ's been playing it, and he said he loves it. So
yeah, it's real good.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, let's get into some news. Every episode we talk about some news. We're just going to touch briefly on this first part. There was a state of play in Japan announced for today. I did catch a little bit of this before we got on to do the show. Nothing really stood out. They had some Marvel Tokon on there. They also had was it Dragon Quest VII reimagined maybe, and maybe some other stuff. But we'll cover this maybe more after we both had some time to sit with it. Jake, did you see anything that was good? It was live, like right before we started the show. Did you see anything about this?
I skimmed through it. None of it really. There was a couple of things, like horror games that looked like they might be kind of interesting, but most of it really wasn't in my wheelhouse, if I'm being honest with you. Like they obviously something that I'm interested in is they showed some Gran Turismo stuff, but it's like it's just an update. I don't really care that much about it.
Cool. Well, back to Arc Raiders real quick. I know you guys are probably sick about hearing it by now, but
it was in sorry to cut you off, but it was all in Japanese.
Yeah, it was.
Like it wasn't in English at all. I mean, there were English subtitles, but it was very clearly for the Japanese audience. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah. 700,000 concurrent players in Arc Raiders. It's just bonkers, dude.
How many?
700,000.
Oh, wow. I thought you said 7,000. I was like, that seems low.
No,
but then you said
700,000.
That's a shitload.
And I don't know if that's just Steam not counting PS4 or PS5 and other whatever else is out, but that's an insane amount of players, dude. And this game is just, I understand why it's so fun. Now the question is it gonna just burn out? Is it gonna burn out quickly? But we already talked about how there's a 10-year roadmap for this game. So if they do it right, it could be some fucking shit to this game, dude. It could be the next, I'm not gonna say it. It could be the next big thing.
Look at Helldivers.
Really strong start. What's that?
I mean, it very well could work like Helldivers, where it's like, yeah, it's gonna start with this huge peak, but then maybe after a few months, it's gonna kind of plateau out to a more still successful, still very highly played game, but not this like 700,000 concurrent kind of freaking experience.
Yeah,
but
congrats to Embark, dude. That's awesome.
Dude, people still play the finals and love it.
Yeah.
And, so I'm sure that this game will have at least legs for the midterm. I'm not sure it'll be here in 10 years, but I imagine it'll probably be around for a little bit. Definitely
a studio to start paying attention to after the finals in this. I think they've got something there. Some sort of secret going on. And a news point came out that Red Dead Redemption 2 is now the 4th best-selling game ever. Take-Two is ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, those guys. Those guys are like the definition of big dick energy in fucking video games. I mean, there's nobody that even comes close. I mean, they've got, 2 of the top 4 games of all time are their last 2 games. Yeah. Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 are their last 2 games, and they're 2 and 4 respectively.
Yeah,
which is fucking psychotic.
Yeah, and dude, it's
so else. If anybody out there thinks that Grand Theft Auto 6 is not going to be this world beater kind of it's going to be insanely huge, and I don't know, man. It's really wild. And don't get me wrong, Red Dead Redemption 2 is a super impressive game. I loved it. I'm not even a big cowboy fan, but that game almost made me a cowboy fan. Yeah. And just because it was so well done, it was so beautiful, so easy to role play that kind of experience.
Yeah, that's the truth.
With that game. But yeah, that's really, really impressive.
Yeah. Well, with talking about Rockstar, dude, Grand Theft Auto 6 is delayed until November of 2026. It was going to release on my birthday, May 26th, and they've pushed it out 6 months. And I looked into some information that was posted for shareholders of Take-Two, dude, and it said that here Take-Two Interactive Software's delay of its Grand Theft Auto 6 launch will shift a portion of revenue to fiscal 2028. Wedbush Security said in a Friday note. It says Take-Two said in its earnings release Thursday that Grand Theft Auto 6 is scheduled to launch November 19, 2026. Wedbush noted that this represents a shift from the previously expected May 2026 timeframe. It says Take-Two must get this game right. Large bugs or imperfections could cause a dip in initial sales and long-term ill will, the brokerage said, adding that a holiday launch could help amplify demand for the game. To reflect the new release timing, Wedbush lowered its fiscal 2027 EPS estimate to 7.19 from 8.77. So they did raise the price target on the company stock to $300 from $290, so they're pretty big on this, man. They're really not taking any chances with this game, right?
Dude, do you have any idea how much this sickens me?
I know.
I had, dude, in 20.
How many shares did you have, dude?
20. I had. Let me see here. Let me do some quick calc. Let me do some quick calc here.
You probably sold for a profit, but you probably don't have. Do you have any left?
I had almost 100 shares of Take-Two stock.
Really?
In like 2012, 13, something like that.
That's amazing.
And if I still had that, I mean, that'd be worth 30 grand.
Yeah,
That's
I'm looking right now.
crazy.
It's $240 a share right now, I think.
24 grand. Okay. But still, that's like, it's pretty bananas, just the fact, because when I sold it at $25 a share, and it was at a profit. Now, granted, I sold it all to help with like the down payment on the house I was buying at the time. So like I kind of needed the money, but like, yeah, it's literally worth 10 times more than I sold it for. Which is
insane, man. Yeah.
I had the same thing with, I had a bunch of Activision stock too, Activision Blizzard stock that I sold.
Yeah, $240
and
a share.
at the same time. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's gnarly. I do have a little bit of stock intake too right now, but I didn't get in as low as you did.
Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting. It's the only reason I had that information. But moving forward, PlayStation 5 is rumored to be in the middle of its life cycle, according to a Sony executive. Sony CFO Lin Tao stated that the PS5 is only in the middle of the journey and that the company is planning to expand it further. So it's kind of interesting, man. I heard something also that they're going to be selling even a crappier version of the PlayStation in Japan or something than what we have here. But I don't know. It's just interesting that we're only halfway through. Maybe that the tail end will get like some banger like the last. We got The Last of Us at one point at the end of the PS3 cycle. I just don't see any Sony parties really pushing this console hard. That's all.
Well, just remember, I mean, this statement, when it says that we're halfway through the PlayStation 5 life cycle, that does not mean that 5 years from now is when the PS6 is coming out.
That's true.
That just means that the PS5 is going to exist for at least another 5 years. Yeah. We're probably still going to get the PS6 in a couple years.
Yeah.
Or a year and a half or whatever the hell it is. And so, I think that honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the PS5 lasts longer than that. I mean, the PS4 is still around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I can believe this statement for sure.
Yeah. Huh. Well, we talked about the games coming out for PlayStation Plus. They're now available for November. We're not going to talk about them again, but they are out. And Plus wasn't even always a thing, Jake, when we were doing this podcast. We didn't used to have
it. Was when we started. It just wasn't like
2012.
Yeah, I think it was 2011. I think was when it started.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I mean, it was a while ago, but it wasn't. It was definitely not what it was now. I mean, it was like it was a vastly different thing. I mean, they had the games catalog at that time. And it was like something that they started to kind of atone for the whole PSN outage, which was in 2011, early 2011.
The ability to play online wasn't dictated by whether you had Plus or not.
It was, yeah. I mean, it was free. Playing online on PlayStation was free at that time.
Yeah.
It didn't cost any money. It wasn't until the PS4 that PS Plus actually was required to play games online. So it was a completely different animal back then.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and dude, the last news point that I have for today. This is a big one. I've got a Portal. You don't have one. You do have a Steam Deck. But the PlayStation Portal handheld device now supports cloud streaming of PS5 games for PS Plus Premium members. Meaning you can stream thousands of PS5 titles without needing your PlayStation 5 console to be active. So this is interesting. You could buy the Portal, have an active account with PlayStation, and stream PlayStation games on it without having a PS5.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you do have to have the top tier PS Plus, which is, whatever it is, fucking $200 a year or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool that you don't have to have a PlayStation to be able to play PlayStation games anymore. You can just have a Portal. as long as you have that subscription service.
Yeah.
I mean, is this something that's for me? No. One, I don't have a Portal, and two, I'm just not that into streaming video games. But it's a really cool kind of thing that they've added, is sort of like a value add to the system. If there are people that maybe they have a Portal and they want to, it might convince them to bump up a PlayStation Plus tier, or maybe they'd be interested in buying a Portal just to be able to do this. I would be interested to see like what the library is of games that you can do this with. I would imagine it's all the ones that you can stream, but I guess I don't know that that's true. It could be a select number. But if it's all of the streamable games, you just have to have PS Plus Premium. That's a pretty good library of games if you're okay with the streaming component.
Yeah.
All you need is that $200 Portal.
Yeah, dude. $159.99 for PS Plus Premium. So $160 a year plus the Portal. The other thing is, I wonder how streaming works for this, because you can't run a wire to your Portal for a better internet connection, right? So they say that when you stream your PS5 on your Portal, if the PS5 is hardwired to your modem or whatever, there's less input lag. So I wonder how this works with a Wi-Fi connection to Sony's streaming cloud. I wonder how noticeable it is, right? Because there's no way to make that better.
No, I mean, it's all going to be down to how good your Wi-Fi is, so what Wi-Fi protocol you're using, and how good your internet connection is, and how physically close you are located to a data center. Because that is much more of a factor than people actually think about. Because that signal has to go through the wires and the cables and the fucking fibers and all the shit from the data center to you and back. And we're talking, 30 milliseconds before it becomes 40 milliseconds before it becomes noticeable that there's input lag. And that's no time at all. So physical distance actually matters at those speeds. So it's I think that is more of an issue than Wi-Fi most of the time. Unless you have like a shitty Wi-Fi router, then yeah, that's going to be a problem. But I think a lot of it is going to be how far away or how many of these data centers are there and how far are they?
Yeah, dude. Different times, man. It's just so interesting. But anyways, that's pretty much all for the show. Let me see if there are any games coming out this week that we should probably talk about real quick on the show before we sign off episode 400. Excuse me, what is today? Today's the 11th. So we do have some games coming out. Surviving Mars on the 10th, yesterday. Surviving Mars relaunched. Today, they were recording this. Rue Valley, Processors, Luminous Arise, Goodnight Universe, Windswept, and Sacred 2 Remastered. November 13th, Anno 117 Pax Romana and PUBG Battlegrounds. And then the 14th, Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Where Winds Meet, Inazuma 11 Victory Road, Code Violet, Dark Atlas Infernum. That's Where Winds Meet had a PS blog post. And this is Everstone Studio who did this game. And it's an RPG adventure game. Kind of looks samurai-ish, but it looks good, though, dude. But it's just like there's a lot of games like this now.
It does seem like it tends to, they tend to kind of blend together now. We have so much of this stuff. It's like I'm not going to say Ghost of Tsushima was the first one, but like it was the first like big AAA game since like Onimusha or something.
Right.
To do the big AAA samurai kind of Asian inspired experience. And now it's like fucking every other goddamn game we get is like some samurai thing, some Chinese historical thing, some fucking yokai shit. You know what I mean? And so like, it's like it all just kind of blends together to me, and it sounds unfortunate, but I mean, this game, I'm like scrubbing through a trailer on YouTube. Like, it looks pretty fucking cool.
It does look cool.
I don't know really what to say about it because, like I said, it just so much of this stuff blends together to me now. But
yeah,
I might be interested in playing it if I hear some really good things.
Yeah, dude, you still need to sink your teeth into Death Stranding too.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't have the fucking energy for that game right now. Maybe like over break, like maybe like towards holiday vacation or whatever like that. I might be more interested in a kind of a chill game like that. But I'm kind of getting my fill of that sort of experience just riding my horse around in Ghost of Tsushima. And it's much less depressing of an environment than fucking Death Stranding is going to be. So, yeah, I'll have to. I mean, I definitely want to play it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm not there yet.
I get it, man. All right. Well, hey, man, that wraps up this episode, this very important round 400 episode. We do appreciate you listeners. We do. Would we be doing this if we didn't have listeners? Quite honestly, probably. We'd probably be talking. I mean, I actually don't even know how many listeners we have. I just know that it's not a lot because we don't get a lot of write-ins. But you can always write us. Let us know what you think about the show. Let us know if you have anything specific you'd like us to discuss. psthisisawesome@gmail.com. Make sure for $1 a month if you want to submit a little bit of love to us. Patreon.com/psthisisawesome. We'll give you a free die-cut sticker in the mail, a nice vinyl sticker. And for the that says PS This Is Awesome PlayStation Podcast, and it's in the shape of it's like our logo. It's awesome. And we'll give you a shout out. And you can feel good about supporting one of your favorite PlayStation podcasts also by doing so. I don't really have anything else to say. I hope that everybody who's been listening has not been hammered with snow like we were. But if you were, I hope you're staying warm. And I hope you guys gear up for Thanksgiving. Hope you guys got your plans in place. And you can spend some time with family and stuff coming up here in a little bit. And we have one more show before then, I think. And I don't know, man. What about you, Jake? You got anything you want to say before we sign out?
No, I don't think so. I think it's been a good show. Keep going as long as we can, I suppose. And I don't know. Write in with your 400 favorite things that I've said as to how I'm doing to start the podcast, which I guess would technically be every single episode. But yeah, I don't know. You should write in though.
Yeah,
it's nice to chat with people.
It is nice to hear from you guys.
Even if you want to give me some real hog shit fucking game suggestion that's like some roguelike or something.
Yeah, they could do that. It is good to hear from people so that we know we're not just yelling into the void, into the emptiness of the world. Dude, I can't even. Anyways, yeah, I'll let you go. That's it for the show. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Sorry, I'm clicking on crap over here, trying to already get my stuff set up for the thing, whatever it's called. Let me just make sure we don't have any write-ins. I don't think we did. We had a couple people write in, but I responded to them already, and it wasn't really about anything specific. Let me see here. Community. Yeah, we had someone write in. Oh, this is just Arc Raider shit I was posting. So, did we talk about? Yeah, we did. Someone else who was enjoying non-alcoholic beers. Did we bring that up, or no?
Last week?
Yeah,
we talked about the guy.
Yeah, because he got carded. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I think that was it. Yeah, so we did. All right, we're caught up then. All right, well that's it for the show. This is true to fashion. I'm so unorganized. Like Death Stranding, Demon Souls, and Days Gone. P.S.
Yes.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.